Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here coming at you with another video. Today we have an assistant, Bear. Hi Bear. Hey my boy. Yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. There's that tail. He's saying hi. Anyway guys, what I have here is a 1985. It is a XR80R from Honda. And what can I tell you about this bike? Nothing other than a little bit of hackery. So as you see it, we'll do a walk around real quick. This is the condition I got it in. Nothing more, nothing less. Just like that. And as you can see right here, if you guys can see the problem, you're pretty good. So I'll show you. Oh, that's too fuzzy, huh? There we go. The spark plug hole is stripped out. Not only is it stripped out, they drilled it out and put a helicoil in it, which I took the plug out when I got the bike by hand. Mind you, I was able to screw it off by hand. And yeah, let's just say the helicoil came up with it, and it's not good. I'm going to assume that this thing needs a head, but I ran a 14mm thread tap through it, and it looks like I'm going to have to replace the head, because when you look in there, see if I can do this on one hand here. Hold on one second. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right there. Right there. You can start to see the valve. Right there. The valve opens up and gets in the way. So what I'm going to try to do, okay, I'm going to try, I don't even know if this thing has spark. I don't know anything about this bike other than the way you see it here. Okay, so as you're seeing it for the first time is the exact way I got it. It's a 4-stroke, not a 2. For those who love the 2-strokes that I do, this is actually a 4-stroke 80. And yeah, I haven't heard it run. I haven't really done anything to it. So let's get you guys in the stand and let's get crack-a-lacking and see if this thing will hold a plug without hitting the valve. But before I do, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, so when I post a video, you don't get left out. Alright, let me get you guys in the stand. We'll get crack-a-lacking. Okay, first up, let me fix the mess up that I said. I said I tapped it out to the 14mm plug. I meant 12mm plug. This is the D9EA, which is what we use on the 400. The plug itself is a little more narrow. Now you can see how it's got this nut on here, because they don't make a what do you call it, a 12mm plug to what do you call it, fit the spike. And I don't know if this is even going to work. So if I can tighten that down, we're going to be in good shape. Seems to be alright. I mean, it's not perfect. Oh, I got the wrong size on here. Hold on. Starting to rain. Let me see here. Try this one. Nope, 18. Alright, right back. Alright, let's try it now. See if it tightens down. Okay, that tightened down. Perfect though. Okay, now let's see. First we gotta check the oil. It's starting to rain out, guys. Oh yeah, it's got oil in it. Yep, you can actually see the oil. That's good there. Okay, and now let's pull that plug off and see if the what the carburetor looks like on the inside. Alright. Nope, they ain't coming off. Looks like they stripped that right out. Okay, so what do we do here? Bottom move. What do you guys say? We put fuel in it, just send it? Let's do it. Alright, I just put gas in it, and now we're going to try it out. See if this thing will stop. Where the heck's the choke on this thing? Choke. Right, first off, let's go on the other side and take a look here real quick and see about. Up there's the choke lever right there. Yeah, I'm assuming up is on. It is leaking out of the petcock a little bit. To be expected. I don't care about a leak. Alright, let's see if it'll even do anything. I can't even kick this thing. The Kickstarter's down way too low. Let's take that off and flip it around. Okay, just pop this off. The next size, it must be an 8. Must be an 8mm. This bike is throwing me all off. I'm used to 2 strokes. Okay. My God, that's super tight. Ah, there's a problem with this Kickstarter. Okay. It's stripped out. Stripped out. Alright. I don't have another Kickstarter for this thing either. Not for this particular bike. I see people drill holes through these things and put a bolt through it. Please don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Why is that bolt like that? Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. You're going to like this. My God. Right. Kickstarter should come right off. It's all stripped out. I don't like going against the case on this part. Okay. Now, oh yeah, got a piece of grass in there. You can see that the starter is kind of stripped out in there. I'm going to show you guys how to make this a little tighter. Okay, so what I'm going to do to make this a little tighter is I'm going to use my grinder and I'm going to take the width of this blade off one of the sides here. I'm just going to grind it right up and whoop, like that, and then it's going to allow this clamp, because this thing is junk. This thing is all stripped out. Unless you can remill it and do all that stuff to it, it's not going to do any good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on here like this, up a little higher, so when I kick it, it's going to be good. Tap it into place. That. Put a bolt in it. This ain't a permanent fix. I'm going to replace this Kickstarter and I'm going to replace this shaft. I just want to see if this thing will even run. And we're kind of dodging raindrops, so. Okay. And this will give me a little bit more gription, if you will. That, huh? Okay, now. Okay, now I'm thinking there's no spark. So we'll have to check the spark. But I just wanted to see if it'll at least turn over. That was the key to that whole thing. Is to turn over. See if it would even do that. And I can feel compression. So I'm good there. Now I have no spark. Alright, we get a plug and check the spark. Alright, now we're going to check and see if we get spark on this thing. Take another spark plug, put it in the hole. Okay. Yeah. Let me get you guys down here with me. Just adjust this up real quick. See if you guys can see it, because I'm not gonna, my eyes are bad. Okay. And now we'll take a look to see if we get spark. Okay, ready. Yeah, I'm getting spark. Alright, so the bike has spark. That's a good thing. I can't complain about that. Alright, we got spark. So if we got spark and we got compression, we ain't got fuel. And I think that's going to be the problem. Alright. Huh. We definitely have spark. I saw it. Okay, so now let's take that air filter bellow off. Right off of here and see if we can spray some stuff in there. See if this thing will crank. Whole thing could be this carburetor. Alright. Ah, the choke's not even closing all the way. Alright, that's a problem right there. Alright, well now we just close the choke all the way, the clutch cable's in the way. Nope. Alright. Now we'll have to put some fuel in it and see if that does it. Alright, so it rained here a little bit. The bike is now back to dry. I have a carburetor right here, and I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but it's a Toto carburetor. And I don't know what kind of machine it came off of. It is clean. It does, I put it in the bin, so it must work. And I'm going to take this carburetor off because I don't know anything about it or when the last time this thing even ran. I literally know nothing about this bike. I was told it sat for a long period of time. So it has, in my opinion, low compression. I don't know if these bikes have automatic decompression. I don't really deal with 4-strokes all that much, you know, of this type. But I do want it, and I do want to get it going. So what I want to do is, if it needs a head, we're going to put a head onto it. It does have compression. The starter is on its way out, you know, the starter gear. So the other thing you can do too is when you take this out, you could drill out the threads on this side and put a nut and bolt, which is what we might end up doing. If it slips again, we'll do that. Let's see if I can. But yeah, it's pretty porked. So anyway, let's get that carburetor ripped off. And there's 2 bolts, one here and one there, and then this cap, and then the fuel line, and then the carburetor's off. I literally don't know if that carburetor is junk on the inside. The jets are all plugged up. I can't get that cap off. I tried it off camera with this big screwdriver right here, and it's just not, it's stripped out. So it is what it is. If I can take it apart, I can clean it, we can use it again. So, all right, let me go get some tools and I'll be right back. All right, so I took the, real quick, I took the bolt off the other side to make it a little easier, so I'm not going back and forth. Just try to make it so the video is not super long. Oh, this one's got a nut and a stud. Okay, that's different. Alright, then that and the screw, the hose, fuel line right there. Okay, I have to say that's a pretty easy, I said that, now I gotta go get a pair of pliers. Alright, I'll take the slide out. Oh, that's too bad. Well, since I can't see the inside of it, we're changing it. Okay. Yeah, there is a little corrosion on the bottom of the needle. Side looks good. Let's take a look at this slide, see what this one looks like. Oh yeah, different slide. Okay, switch it out. So how this works is, here's your throttle. Show you this real quick here. Okay, so right now your throttle cable's like that. What you're going to do is you're going to push down on the spring. That's going to pop off. You bring this like this, and then the carburetor slides right out. Screen, and then the cable, and then we put it back in the reverse order onto this one. Whenever you do a carburetor, okay, you buy a Chinese carburetor, right? In this case, we're actually using a Chinese carburetor. The slides are all different diameters, so you want to keep this whole thing right here, all these parts and pieces, with the carburetor that they came from, okay? Because they're a matched system. So once again, I'm going to push up like that. The cable is going to come out. I'll put it through the slide there, like that. Take the spring and this whole piece. All this is going to stay with that carburetor. Okay, now we're going to put it together. So the first piece we're going to put on is the top. It's going to slide through. Oh, don't do the mistake that I always do. I always put this thing on and forget about this. You have to put this on first. Okay, because it's like that. It feeds out like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take the slide, the Chinese one. I have a feeling this cable is going to be a little too short. Okay, hook that in. Come on. These are a pain in the neck to put in. Alright, you know what I want to check real quick? I want to check the length of that cable to the length of the cable on this top. I think this is different. That spring had way too much tension on it. Yeah, that's different. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to change this up. We are going to use the nut for the Chinese carburetor. The top, this part right here is the same. Okay, it's the same. Make sure it fits into the carburetor like that, so it will work. And make sure the nut is going to hold on to it tight. It is. So we're going to use the factory top, but we're going to use the Chinese nut because this nut is threaded differently. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to slide this through here like this, just like that. Pull that through. See right there, I messed up. I didn't put the nut on there. Alright. Let's try this again. Okay. Like so. Chinese spring. Oh, a lot better. Alright. Pull that up like that. Slide this into the hook. Yeah. Okay, slides on, that's all done. Okay, now we're going to slide that into here, and you're going to see that there's a pin on the inside. Let's see if I can blow this up for you. See right there, that gold pin? Right on this side right here. Okay, that pin, see how this right here has a long slide on it? That's going to guide that, so that goes on that side. so it's going to go in, just like so. Clock it so that the spring is in the right spot. Okay. Now, see how you can see the slide? When I open this, it should go all the way open. It does, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. Okay, now we can mount it. Okay. Just like that, yep. Grab the nut, or bolt I should say. I'm going to go through the two nuts in. I'm not going to bore you with that. Alright, now. Okay, so new carb's on. Go with this. Yep, got the fuel flow. So I don't know if this carburetor is any good. I got to be honest with you. I never even heard it run. But it was clean, so I grabbed it and we're going to try it out. So this is from a Toto. This is not going to stay on there. I am going to clean the original carburetor and see. I think, honestly, what's going on with this engine is it's got low compression. So, that's what I think is going on with it. I think that it's either, I don't know, not a blown head gasket, but I don't think a valve's seating right. And I think it's because when it was drilled out, I think it might have nicked it or hit the valve or something. So I think we're going to end up doing a head to this anyway. But, well, let's try it out and see if what it will do. Because I have no idea. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing to fire. At least kick it. Something, do something. Auto feels good. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel. Definitely doesn't feel like it's got the compression. I can go straight down with that, no problem. It's like barely even compressing. Let's give it a hoot. Okay. Now, see if that helps. Yeah, I can barely, there's no compression. And what it has is really, really low. Yeah. Well, the only thing we can do is do a compression test. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so compression test. Sorry guys, I'm not wearing a hat. My hat hair is all custom bent right now. Alright, so we'll throw a compression testing piece in there, fitting. Okay. Okay. Wide open throttle. We'll kick it. Oh, we're at 60 psi, so it's not exactly terrible. I didn't think it was going to be that high. So it is low, but it's not like stupid low. Okay. We got spark. You just double check the spark here with this plug. Could be a bad plug. Oh, starter just messed up. Okay, hold on. Yep, I'm getting spark. Alright, so we got spark. We got 60 pounds of compression, thereabouts, which is low. It might need a valve adjustment. Definitely has compression, just doesn't have a lot of it. Should be over. I don't know if this engine has decompression or not, so I have to look into that. But I think that we're gonna have to do a valve adjustment to this thing. I think that's where the I think that's where it's going to be at. So we'll do a valve adjustment, try it out, see what happens. Okay, so I took the tank and the seat off. Taking these bolts out. And we'll pop that valve cover off. So on a 4-stroke engine, the valves being out of adjustment is typically a common thing. So let's see if this is the problem with this. Try not to break that seal. I think I gotta take these bolts out. We'll push them in. Okay. Alright, so I don't see no decompression up here. I'll rotate the cam and see if I see one on the cam. I do not. Okay. These valves are tight. Both of them. Okay, so right now that valve is open, this valve is closed, and it's very, very tight. To the point. Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. Let me go get some. Feeler gauges, and we'll take a peek at it. All right, so I got my feeler gauges. I mark them on the back, intake and exhaust, and you can see I got a whole set of them. So let's take a look and see if we can figure this out. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so let's get this thing up on compression stroke with both valves closed. I'm gonna take the plug out, show you guys how to do this. Take the spark plug back out. Let's get the spark plug out. We're gonna rotate the engine. And, these threads are still kind of messed up, but should work. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the engine down so you get your exhaust valve and your intake. Okay, you can see what's going on. So here's the intake valve just closed. So right now the piston's coming up. Now use a screwdriver in here to feel for it. The exhaust valve is opening. Okay, so now the piston's coming up for exhaust. Intake valve just closed. Okay, the piston's coming out. Okay, all right. Alright, so right now, it's on the top of compression. Both intake and exhaust valves should be closed. And this valve right here is very, very tight. Okay? Is very, very tight. Okay. So with the piston at the top on compression and both valves closed, the timing mark over here with the 2 bolts are straight on. Okay, so that's all set. Now I'm going to check my exhaust. So I've got my intake, that's my intake, and then here's the exhaust valve adjustment, and I can't even put that in there. Intake is just as bad. So now what we're going to do is we're going to crack those both loose. 8mm. Yep. Oh, all right, we'll get the right size for that. Okay. Now I don't have my little adjusters, my little turn screw to hold this. So what we're going to do this by hand. Crack those loose. That's one adjuster. That's 2. All right, we're going to back these out. So here's the that's the intake. Here's the exhaust right here. We're going to put this right under there. So it just starts. You want to be able to feel, okay, when you're adjusting this, you want it so it just touches the blade. Okay, just touches it. You don't want it too tight where you have to pull it out, then it's going to snap shut. If you keep it just like that, you want just like the points. Okay, same thing, just like the points. Crack it loose. So just so you can grab it with 2 fingers. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. Let me just make sure you guys can. Okay, I want to grab it with 2 fingers and be able to slide it just like so. Okay. Then typically I would hold that right there like that and then lock it in. Beautiful. And then finish off the tightness of it. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to do the back side. That's the intake side. How you grab the one that says in on it for intake. Come on, get in there. Like that. Double check it. Beautiful. Okay. And now I have both valves adjusted. I'm going to throw the valve cover back on. Alright, after you get that done, put the plug back in. The video is getting kind of long, so I'm just kind of shortening things up a bit. Alright, let's try, see if it'll kick over now. There should be enough gas in the carburetor to try it out. See if it'll fire. Like that. Nope. Still feels light on the compression. So there might be something further. Yep. Yep, nope. She's a no-go, guys. She's a no-go. It's firing. I did a compression test off screen, and it was pretty much where it was before. It's like another couple points higher. Yeah, this is a tough one, guys. I think the compression is just too low. that stupid Kickstarter. Alright guys, so in the last part of this, I had stripped out the Kickstarter. So I just removed the starter on this side over here. So not the starter, but the side cover over here, and I'm going to use my drill. I just got it set up. So let's see if we can get this thing to fire. This is like a determination, will it start? Oh God. Alright. So I'm using my Milwaukee M12 drill, and I don't even know what size this is. 17. I can hear it trying to start. Like it's trying. I'm gonna spray bottle it here. I'm using my little bottle of fuel. So just a squirt. Now it's kind of flooded. I like to hear it run tonight. Woo! Will it run? Yes, it will. Oh my God. So, alright guys, now, and ladies, now that we got this in my cardboard for my burn barrel, now we got this thing to start. Now, what's next? Well, a couple things. This head that's on this machine, the spark plug bolt is in fact stripped out. Oh, there's not the spark plug bolt, but the spark plug hole is stripped out. So we are going to replace the head on this thing. That is a nice alternative I did, so I'm not going to replace it right now. I'm going to get another head for it, so I have it in stock, and then I'll replace it. I'm going to then clean the other carburetor. That carburetor right there is sitting on the ground, so I can put that back on here because, well, that's a Chinese carburetor. And then we're going to have to take this engine down and change out that Kickstarter shaft and the Kickstarter. Ladies and gentlemen, it's alive. So, and there's that. So it does run, and once I get that Kickstarter fixed and get the correct carburetor on there, this thing's gonna run great. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for hanging out with me, and thank you for all the thumbs up. Guys, we have another one. Welcome to the family, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm out. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.